Will the faculty marshal please return the ceremonial mace to its stand? And please be seated. Good morning. I'm Charles Flutterman, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs of the School of Engineering, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the UNM School of Engineering Fall 2017 Convocation. All right. Early and often, please. We're here to celebrate the accomplishments of today's graduates and give them a great send-off to all of their future endeavors. Let's begin by introducing the faculty marshal for today's ceremony. At each of our convocations, we honor a retiring faculty member by asking her or him to carry the School of Engineering ceremonial mace while leading the faculty procession. We are pleased to have Professor Robert Bush from the Department of Nuclear Engineering as our marshal today. Dr. Bush is retiring this semester after 32 years of service at UNM. Actually, he served our students at UNM for even more years. He was an adjunct faculty member, but only started as a regular faculty member 32 years ago. He's truly one of our own, having earned his PhD and MS degrees from here at UNM. He's received several awards for the excellence of his teaching, and we're very fortunate that he will continue teaching a course or two, maybe three, for us in the future. Bob, thank you for your years of service to UNM and our students, and thank you for being our faculty marshal today. I'd also like to thank Ms. Anna Mae Apodaca from the Department of Mechanical Engineering, where she's one of our staff advisors, for being our banner carrier this morning. It's now my pleasure to introduce to you the Dean of the School of Engineering, Dr. Christos Christodoulou.
Good morning. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, faculty, colleagues, families, and especially you, the graduating class of 2017, welcome. I want to start by saying that you're very fortunate to have attended one of the premier engineering and computer science programs in the US, and on top of that, in one of the most beautiful parts of the country. Not everybody is that fortunate. Life is full of challenging tasks, we all know that. But as a graduate from our school, you have already demonstrated that with hard work, perseverance, intelligence, and dedication, everything is possible. So we're not worried about you. You'll be successful. Today is an important day in your lives because you have earned the privilege to deal with some new challenges that our country and the entire world is facing. You will have the opportunity to improve the quality of life in our society, make a difference, and have your impact. It's up to you to have that impact. So as you go through your new journey, take pride in your work. Do not let failures dampen your enthusiasm, and there'll be many failures. So stay focused. There are too many distractions for your generation, far more than this group that is on stage here. So stay focused, make friends, and good friends if possible, and help the less fortunate, like those who went to other schools that I will not name. I know that today you feel proud of yourselves, and you should, elated and relieved, and perhaps a bit sad that you're leaving UNM. You don't have to leave UNM. You can come back to graduate school, and if you want, get a second PhD, if you want. So, to conclude, congratulations for completing this impressive task. We are all proud of you, and we wish you all the best in achieving your goals and dreams in your lives. Congratulations. I would like to introduce now the dignitaries we have with us from the Center of Administration. Dr. Terry Babbitt, the Vice Provost for Enrollment Management and Analytics. And Dr. Julie Kunro, the Dean of Graduate Studies, who also is a professor in civil engineering, so she's one of us, unlike Terry. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Carol Atkins. In your programs, you have a lot of the accomplishments that Dr. Atkins have achieved in her career. I cannot read all this, so I'm going to pick the ones that are, to me, very important. So Dr. Carol Atkins is the director of the New Mexico Energy and Geoscience Center at Sandia National Lab. Carol provides leadership and management direction for Sandia's, listen to this, applied energy, grid and geoscience research and development programs. I don't know what the rest are doing at Sandia, but it looks you're doing it all. So Carol serves as Sandia's campus executive for the University of New Mexico. She's passionate about supporting women at Sandia and has served as co-chair of the Sandia Women's Action Network. Carol has a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering from the University of New Mexico. She's one of us. And was a National Science Foundation Fellow at Caltech, where she received a PhD in chemical engineering. Of course, that shows, proves that once you get your degree at UNM, you can get your PhD anywhere you want. So in 2015, the University of New Mexico School of Engineering presented Carol with a Distinguished Alumni Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Atkins.
Dean Kudulu, faculty, distinguished guests, families, most importantly, the graduates. Thanks for allowing me to be part of this special day with you. You're at the beginning of your careers, and I'm sort of like the last decade of mine, so why should you listen to me? 35 years ago, I was sitting right where you are. I was a bachelor's, as Dean said, in chemical engineering from UNM in 1981. Then I moved to California, got my PhD at Caltech, and I've worked with Sandia ever since. In 1981, I chose to avoid the chaos of the full university commencement at the pit in favor of this event here, the Engineering Convocation. Perhaps you made the same choice. But frankly, I can't remember much about it. So I asked my niece, who graduated last spring from UNM in chemical engineering here, what she'd want to hear. She assured me I was not funny in the slightest, so I should simply be specific about a few things that I've learned and I want you to know. So here goes. Graduating engineers of the fall of 2017, I have 3 challenges for you. Challenge number 1, let ethics and integrity guide your work. Most of us decided to go into engineering because we enjoy science and math. We like solving problems and making things work. However, the stereotype of the engineer as an introvert who stumbles over human interactions doesn't recognize that engineers are and must be intensely involved with society because engineering exists at the intersection of society and science. Science seeks to understand the universe and is curiosity-driven. Engineering is the creative application of that scientific knowledge to address the needs of society. This is very important, and it's an important distinction. Many years ago, 1992 to be exact, I was flipping through my husband's mechanical engineering magazine, and I came upon an article called The Secret Confessions of a Designer by Kenneth Waldron. And with a title like that, how could you not read the article? Waldron pointed out that engineers sent man to the moon, not scientists. Science was necessary, but engineering made it happen. And if you're in engineering doing research, your focus tends to be on what we need to understand in order to solve or inform a problem, rather than simply to learn something cool. In engineering, there is no one perfect solution, no answer book. We have to make decisions based on imperfect knowledge, imperfect conditions, and competing criteria. Within the imposed constraints, there are many, many possible solutions, and we have to understand the implications of all of those solutions. An engineer's work doesn't sit on a library shelf waiting to be cited in the next journal article. Your work will be used, and that's very important, so let me say it again. Your work will be used. So it's critical that you exhibit the utmost integrity because people in society will be impacted by your work, by what you do, and we want this impact to be positive. So don't be surprised if at some point in your career there's a conflict between criteria. Perhaps what's best for the individual impacts the community negatively, or the best solution to protect the environment costs too much. Your ethical principles and your integrity will have to guide you as you navigate through those competing criteria. Guard them and maintain them diligently. Challenge number 2, commit to a life of continuous learning and seek out diversity. In my years at Sandia, I've worked in materials, advanced manufacturing, and energy. Each of you will have to continually learn and evolve your skills. We bring the foundational skills we've learned here at UNM to bear on our work, but it's usually not enough. We have to gather more information, do more research, talk to experts in the field. Science and technology continually advances, and the needs and desires of society continually change. Your Rev 1 skills that you leave with here today will need to be updated to Rev 2 and beyond during the course of your career. Engineering is intensely dynamic, so commit to continuous learning. Which brings me to diversity. In 2001, the National Academy of Engineering held a workshop on diversity in the workforce. William Wolf, then president of the NAE, gave a keynote address entitled, "The Importance of Diversity in Engineering." This paper is as relevant today as it was 16 years ago when it was published. Wolf's arguments are that the quality of engineering is directly affected by diversity, or the lack thereof. Much of the focus in our training and education is on the analytical side, but engineering requires creativity. The opportunity cost of a lack of diversity are the designs and solutions simply not thought of. Wolf was talking about diversity at many levels. Your life experiences, those things that make you unique, are the basis of your creative ideas. This isn't something UNM can teach. Each of us has to own it for ourselves, and it's directly linked to continuous learning. So I want to encourage you to seek out new people, new experiences, and learn from them. What can a chemie learn from the double E down the hall? Or the physicist or the economist next door? Expand your learning and appreciation of the non-technical fields also. Finally, challenge number 3, stay connected and be a valuable part of your network. So, what have you been doing during your years at UNM? Beyond learning the foundations of your field, maturing as an individual, drowning in homework, you've been building the foundation of your professional network. Your fellow students and your professors here at UNM will be part of that network the rest of your life. So don't lose touch. When I graduated in 1981, we had the US Postal Service and very expensive long-distance phone calls. You have Facebook, the web, LinkedIn, email, and many other options I haven't a clue about. Staying in touch is easier today. And just in case, make sure the UNM School of Engineering has your email and your family's address before you leave. When I arranged the 10-year reunion for my fellow classmates, the dean's office at the School of the Engineering was one of the first places I went for addresses. The university likes to stay connected with its alumni. After all, you are living evidence of the value of the education you learned here. Finally, I'm challenging you to be a valuable member of your network. Unlike Facebook, sheer numbers don't count. Just because your network has hundreds of members doesn't mean those members value you or you value them. Are you someone others come to for advice? Are you the engineer folks come to for the brutal truth? Are you seen as an inspiring creative leader, a mentor? And remember, networks are two-way. When you pick up the phone or write an email, will others respond? Do you value their advice? Create valued and valuable connections within your network. I want to suggest that as you move through your career, forming mentoring relationships with the next generation of engineering students or graduates is very rewarding and an excellent way to pay it back. Through Caltech's alumni program, I was paired with a recent Chemie graduate who works at Intel in Beaverton, Oregon. I get so much from our regular phone calls, I'm not really sure who's mentoring whom. What you have to share with others will change as you grow throughout your career. Offering your time to the next generation will enrich your own network and contribute to your own diversity and breadth. Summing up, science is the study of what is, engineering is the creation of what can be. That's very exciting. The work you do will be different every year, will never become routine, and must be done with integrity. Think about your life and career as a continuum, not just a point in time. It's the integral over time, not a differential time step, that matters in the end. Embrace your success and achievement today, and know you can look forward to a different and exciting tomorrow. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Dr. Atkins.
At each of our School of Engineering convocations, we ask an undergraduate and a graduate student to give a short address. Our undergraduate student speaker this fall is Mr. Esteban Martinez. Mr. Martinez is receiving his Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering today. He is a 2013 graduate of Espanola Valley High School. During his time at UNM, he's been active in HESO, the Hispanic Engineering and Science Organization, and in the student chapter of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers. He's also held an internship at Sandia National Laboratories in the area of organic materials science, and is planning to continue working at Sandia Labs after graduation, eventually hoping to attend graduate school. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Esteban Martinez.
Good morning, graduates, faculty, friends, and families. My name is Esteban Martinez, and I am honored to be your undergraduate speaker. Completing this degree has been busy and hectic. Between homework assignments, studying for exams, and design projects, it seemed like it would never end. When friends outside the School of Engineering would ask when I had free time to hang out, I would often check my calendar and tell them jokingly, December 16th? Well, that day is finally here, and it's been a long journey. When I started this degree, I would have never imagined the things I would learn, the lifelong friends I would make, and the professional connections that would be available to me. I would like to share some of the highlights on this path it took to get here, and I hope you all can relate. Freshman year started with a newfound freedom. The campus was brand new and the possibilities felt endless. This freedom was quickly interrupted by classes like calculus, physics, and the dreaded 8 a.m. class. Never again, only freshman year. Sophomore year was about making friends and bonding over challenging homework assignments. This time was important to build relationships with classmates and faculty who would soon become a big part of our everyday lives. Junior year was one of the hardest years, taking specialized classes, bombing tests, and riding the curve. Junior year surely tested our patience and time management skills. Finally, fast forward to senior year. Picture this, you're feeling on top of the world, confident, preparing for presentations, but one thing is still missing. You realize you still don't understand thermodynamics. Oh well, the struggles and victories of working in groups and collaboration on team design projects was key to preparing us for our careers as engineers and computer scientists in the coming years. The National Academy of Engineering has a list of grand challenges before us in the 21st century. These challenges include water purification from salt water, building more efficient and safer vehicles, the generation of electricity from nuclear fusion, pioneering the rise of quantum computing, making solar power affordable, and improving urban infrastructure. I am sure that each of us will play a key leadership role in each of these emerging fields and technologies. As we all go our separate ways, not only should we conduct ourselves honorably and responsibly, but it is important that we keep values such as safety and ethics at the focus of our careers. I would like to thank my parents for their unconditional love and support, Richard and Elda Pincinel, my presidential scholarship sponsors, and all my friends who I couldn't have got to this degree without. Every speech ends with something inspirational, so I'll leave you with this quote by Malcolm X. Education is our passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Through this shared experience, our education and the friends we've made along the way can never be taken away from us. So hold these memories close and continue to strive for greatness. Thank you.
We have a big present for you.
Continuing our theme of student speakers named Martinez, let me introduce our graduate student speaker, Ms. Carrie Martinez. Ms. Martinez is receiving the Master of Science degree in Computer Science today. She's originally from Philadelphia and received her BS degree in Mathematics from the University of Notre Dame. Go Irish. While at Notre Dame, she was on the fencing team and was named All-American in her specialty, the saber. After spending 13 years working in the title insurance industry, she decided to return to school and pursue a CS degree at UNM. She's currently employed at Sandia National Laboratory as a software engineer and will work towards a PhD in computer science from UNM. Please join me in welcoming our graduate student speaker, Ms. Carrie Martinez.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Fellow graduates, well, we made it. If you're anything like me, you might not have been completely convinced this day would actually come. It took perseverance, patience, maybe some occasional pity from professors, and a significant amount of caffeine to achieve what we have achieved today. In preparing this speech, I spent some time reflecting about what this diploma means for us. First, this degree empowers us. As engineers and scientists, we have the opportunity to impact this world in a very tangible way. New and incredible innovations are happening every day on multiple fronts. With the Internet of Things, you can buy a pair of smart sneakers that tell your watch that you're almost done with your workout, so your watch can tell your oven to start dinner before you get home, and your oven can tell your thermostat to turn down the heat to keep the room at a comfortable temperature for the dog. On the other end of the spectrum, there are constant advances in medical technologies with life-changing implications for many. Much of this progress results from the efforts of multidisciplinary research groups, mechanical engineers who create new devices, electrical engineers who design the circuits that power them, and computer scientists who write the software that drives them. Now we will join the teams pushing the boundaries of innovation even further. As we transition from students to professionals, we become responsible for these contributions that really matter to society. But none of us is perfect. The good news is we're not alone as we tackle the world's latest problems. Whether we're trying to get our dog's smart collar to talk directly to our thermostat, or designing safer, more efficient infrastructure, we can build a team of people to find the solution. To compensate for our own weaknesses and blind spots, we can collaborate with people who have backgrounds, personalities, and strengths different from our own. One of my most successful partnerships here at UNM was with someone who is my polar opposite in many ways. For every assignment we were given, we would start working independently, attempting to simply stitch our results together and submit our project as a unified whole. It never once worked that way. Every time, our two approaches were so dramatically different, at times almost incomprehensible to one another, that there was no obvious way to put them together. Nevertheless, we found that having two completely unique perspectives kept us from getting stuck on tricky parts of the problem. When one person struggled, the other would have an insight, and we ultimately arrived at a better solution than either of us could have reached alone. So, to reinforce challenge 2 from our keynote speaker, what I've learned is that diversity matters. When a problem requires a truly innovative solution, the solution will likely come from a team of people with different skills and different perspectives, not a lone genius. After today, most of us will join new companies and organizations and research groups, and we are each empowered to positively influence how these teams are built. So I encourage you to surround yourself with a diverse group of people so that together you can change the world for the better. Congratulations and best of luck.
Now for the presentation of the Brees Award, I'd like to introduce my colleague in the Dean's Office, the Associate Dean for Research at the School of Engineering, Professor Edel Shagaloglu.
All right, good morning, everyone. Congratulations, graduates, and I wish congratulations to your family and friends. The George E. Brees Award is given each semester to the graduating senior in the School of Engineering who has attained the highest degree grade point average over the last 2 years of the curriculum. The award consists of a certificate and a fraction of a Bitcoin. This semester, our Brees Award winner is Mr. Arthur Napolitano, who is receiving his BS in Computer Science today. Will Mr. Napolitano join us on stage, please? Arthur is making his way to the stage. Let me mention that his degree GPA currently stands at 4.11. To do this, he has had more than a few A+, which obviously is an amazing accomplishment in engineering and computer science. Now that he has graduated, Arthur is planning to work in industry and eventually further his studies in graduate school. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Arthur Napolitano, the Fall 2017 Brees Award winner.
We're also sending you should have it already in your bank account, about $200 million award. Congratulations. If you find the check, let me know. All right, now it's time to introduce the leadership of the School of Engineering. You already have been introduced to Dean Flederman and Dean Shamiloglu. But I would like to introduce the department heads who actually run every aspect of the department. As a dean, when I have a problem, they solve it. I just look good, that's all. So, I will call your names. Please stand until finish, the last one, so you all have your time in front of the audience here. So, Dr. Abaya Dakie, the Chair of Chemical and Biological Engineering. Dr. Mahmoud Taha, the Chair of Civil and Construction Management and soon to be Environmental Engineering Department. Dr. Darko Stefanovic, the Chair of Computer Science Department. Dr. Michael Devetsikiotis, the Chair of Electric and Computer Engineering. Dr. Yulin Shen, the Chair of Mechanical Engineering. We know who's popular, guys. Anyway, so, and Dr. Anil Prinja, the Chair of Nuclear Engineering. Thank you for your leadership. Now the fun part begins. I would call on Dean Flederman to start with a presentation of today's graduates.
All right, before we recognize all of our graduates today, I just want to remind you that we're very happy to have you come and take photographs of your graduate as they walk across the stage. The best place for it is over on this side because they will be walking across that way. And we also have professional photographers here, so you can get professional grade photos of your graduate shaking hands with the dean. I also want to just remind you, please put as many of your photos of this event on Instagram, Twitter. I'd love to see this trending by lunchtime. All right, and would the House staff please raise the lights a little so that we can see the graduates as they're getting closer to the stage. And one more reminder before we get started. For graduate students, if you want to look distinguished while you're getting hooded, it works a lot better to take your hat off. So just saying. All right, so let's begin by calling for the faculty from the Department of Mechanical Engineering to please join me on stage. And would the students graduating from Mechanical Engineering please start moving towards the stairs. And we'll begin with the recipients of the bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. Elliot Pelfrey, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Rollin Harris, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Sean Willie, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Chase Kaiser, yeah, I thought I knew it. Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Michael Gallegos, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Fong Yan No, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Shamiso Chirenda, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Nicole Graham, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Andrea Exel, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Zachary Wedgeworth, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Candace Moore, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Jaylene Martinez, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Leland Barr, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Anthony Zarella, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Nathan Wemple, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Zachary Brendan, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Juliana Davis, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Hans Brummerstedt, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Alfonso Ponce, Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. Andres Leva, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Thomas Liberato, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Cameron Gillen, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Aaron Bolivar, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. James Romero, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Jonathan Ungaro, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. And now the recipients of graduate degrees from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Jose Cortez Villau, Master of Engineering in Manufacturing Engineering, did his work with Professor John Wood. Patrick Mahoney, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, studied with Professor Yulin Shen. Jin Imanishi, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, also studied with Professor Yulin Shen. Miriam Maestas, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, studied with Professor Yulin Shen. Victor Ayong, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, did his work with Professor Andrea Mamoli. Scott Gamper, Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, did his work with Professor Tariq Kraishi. Nina Fazia, PhD in Mechanical Engineering, studied with Professor Peter Gorobiev.
Finally did it, right? Now you're good.
All right, with the faculty from the Department of Nuclear Engineering, please join us on stage. And with the students getting degrees from nuclear engineering, please make their way to the stairs. So nuclear engineering is a kind of small program. We only have one graduate today. Getting the PhD is Edward Hobbs, PhD in nuclear engineering, did his work with Dr. Cassiano Gialavera. And now with the faculty from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering, please join me on stage. And with the students receiving degrees from the CBE department, please move towards these steps. We'll begin with those receiving bachelor's degrees. Marcus Tenorio, Bachelor of Science, Chemical Engineering. Jacob Montoya, Bachelor of Science, Chemical Engineering. Estefan Martinez, Bachelor of Science, Chemical Engineering. And now those getting graduate degrees from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering. We'll begin with Samuel Greenblatt, Master of Science, Chemical Engineering. Eric Benavides, Master of Science, Chemical Engineering. Morteza Talarposhti, Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, did his work with Professor Plamen Adanasov. Clay Payne, Master of Science, Chemical Engineering. Courtney Pruitt, Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, did her work with Professor Elizabeth Dirk. Sadia Kabir, PhD in Chemical Engineering, studied with Professor Plamen Adanasov. And would the faculty from the Department of Civil Engineering please join me on stage? And would the students earning degrees from Civil Engineering please make their way towards the stairs? We'll begin with those receiving undergraduate degrees with Samuel Boyce, Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. Joseph Singh, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Adrian Salazar, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Anthony Capriolio, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Alexis Corning Padilla, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Elliot Sondheim, Bachelor of Science in Construction Management. Stetson Chandler, Bachelor of Science, Construction Management. Tyler Samp, Bachelor of Science, Construction Management. Jeffrey Slopek, Bachelor of Science, Construction Management. Martha Baltazar, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Joseph Brown, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Jason Bogu, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Chase Stearns, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Now the candidates for graduate degrees from the Department of Civil Engineering, beginning with Neri Finkelstein, Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering. Michelle Anderson, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, did her work with Professor Susan Bogus-Halter. Felicia Candelaria, Master of Construction Management, studied with Professor Susan Bogus-Halter. Joshua Searce, Master of Construction Management, did his work with Professor Susan Bogus-Halter. Brendan Brady, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, studied with Professor Terry Howe. Abdul Salim Shaikh, Master of Engineering in Civil Engineering. Jennifer Van Ostel, Master of Science in Civil Engineering, did her work with Professor Mark Stone. Sumant Avasarala, PhD in Civil Engineering, studied with Professor Jose Serrato. Jorge Santamaria Carrera, PhD in Civil Engineering, studied with Professor Vanessa Valentin. Umi Manam, PhD in Civil Engineering, did her work with Professor Rafi Tarefter. Asif Rahman, PhD in Civil Engineering, studied with Professor Rafiq Tarefter. Sadia Faiza, PhD in Civil Engineering, studied with Professor Percy Ng. I'd like to ask the faculty from the Department of Computer Science to please come forward. And the degree candidates from Computer Science, please make their way towards the stairs. We'll begin with those receiving the Bachelor of Science degrees with Mohammed Yousefi, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Kira Haskins, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. George Bouchaudet, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Timothy Chavez, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Matthew McChesney, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Nathaniel Gonzalez, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. J.E. Shin, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Arthur Napolitano, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Now the candidates for graduate degrees from the Department of Computer Science, beginning with Carrie Martinez, Master of Science in Computer Science, did her work with Professor Stephanie Forrest. Matthew Smith, Master of Science in Computer Science, studied with Professor Darko Stefanovic. Hans Weeks, Master of Science in Computer Science, studied with Professor Patrick Bridges. Ronald Garduno, Master of Science in Computer Science, worked with Professor Thomas Hayes. Mark Mitchell, Master of Science in Computer Science, did his work with Professor Lydia Tapia. Joshua Rydens, Master of Science in Computer Science, studied with Professor Patrick Bridges. David Shubsta, Master of Science in Computer Science, studied with Professor Darko Stefanovic. Praveen Kumar, Master of Science in Computer Science, also studied with Professor Patrick Bridges. Srinjay Paul, Master of Science in Computer Science, studied with Professor Robert Carr. Hai-Jin Hee, Master of Science in Computer Science, did his work with Professor Sean Watt. Krithika Saravanan, Master of Science in Computer Science, also studied with Professor Sean Watt. Matthew Dosanjh, PhD in Computer Science, did his work with Professor Patrick Bridges. Duan Imtisham, PhD in Computer Science, accompanied by his daughter, did his work with Professor Patrick Bridges. Would the faculty from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering please join me on stage? And will the students earning degrees from that department please head towards the stairs? We'll begin with those earning the bachelor's degrees. Christopher Otero, Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering. Lucas Cordero, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Jonathan Pound Esprequeto, BS in Electrical Engineering. Nafid Jafari, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Adam Goldstein, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Hans Hoffner, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Derek Swain, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Samuel Maldonado, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Adam Baca, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Abraham Dominguez Hernandez, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Mario Esparza Perez, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Now, the candidates for graduate degrees from Electrical Engineering, beginning with Stephen Maurice, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Rafael Fierro. Joseph Kleppel, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, also studied with Professor Rafael Fierro. Mario Chavez, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Dr. Olga Lavrova. Ronald Howard, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, did his work with Professor Jane Laird. Aaron Griego, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Dr. Olga Lavrova. Gerardo Cano, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Jane Lamb. Johnson Calical, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, did his work with Professor Christos Christodoulou. Nathan Gay, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Mark Gilmore. Kamal Subedi, Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Sudarman Jaiwira. Ralph Kelly, PhD in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Mark Gilmore. Jonathan West, PhD in Electrical Engineering, studied with Professor Rafael Vieira. Emma Renteria, PhD in Electrical Engineering, did her work with Professor Ganesh Balakrishna.
Go ahead.
Congratulations. Congratulations. I'm breaking a sweat here. It's been bad.
And now will the faculty associated with our interdisciplinary degree programs, biomedical engineering, nanoscience and microsystems engineering, and optical science and engineering, please come forward and join me on stage. And will the degree candidates in those interdisciplinary fields please come and make your way towards the stairs. Christian Denny, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, did his work with Professor Elizabeth Dirk. Olivia Bell, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, also worked with Professor Elizabeth Dirk. Catherine Scher, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, studied with Professor Andy Shreve. Joseph Potts, Master of Science in Biomedical Engineering, also studied with Professor Andy Shreve. Therese Brocato, PhD in Biomedical Engineering, studied with Professor Jeff Bringer. Nadista Fernandez Oropeza, PhD in Biomedical Engineering, studied with Professor Andrew Shreve. Joseph Butner, PhD in Biomedical Engineering, also studied with Professor Andrew Shreve. Divya Prakash, Master of Science in Nanoscience and Microsystems Engineering, did his work with Professor Dimitar Petsev. Caitlin Reed, Master of Science in Nanoscience and Microsystems Engineering, she did her work with Professor David Hansen. Noel Dawson, PhD in Nanoscience and Microsystems Engineering, did his work with Professor Kevin Malloy. Albert Perry, PhD in Nanoscience and Microsystems Engineering, studied with Professor Plamen Adanasov. Kenneth DeVico, Master of Science in Optical Science and Engineering, did his work with Professor Daniel Beazell.
secret handshake?
And that concludes the recognition of our degree candidates. I think they all deserve one more real round of applause.
All right. So now I would like to recognize the faculty and staff. Let me start with the faculty. This is a group that there is no doubt, and I believe you believe that as students, are very instrumental to your success. I know that some of you out there in the audience think that faculty are people who speak in other people's sleep. This is not always the case. So you would agree that our faculty here worked very hard to give you a very solid foundation for a better future. So faculty, would you please stand and let us recognize and thank you. Thank you. And now, really the most important group at the university is the staff. I would like to definitely thank our staff members in the School of Engineering who worked very hard to make your time at UNM comfortable, secure, and productive. They have performed a myriad of services of which you may not even be aware of, but they did. So, staff, would you please stand and let us recognize you and thank you. Thank you. And now, Dean Fletherman.
Today's graduates have asked me to acknowledge the contributions to their success provided by all of you who are here to support them today. We all know how important our family and friends have been to our success, and this is certainly no less true for the students completing their degrees today. Graduates, I think you should give a loud round of applause to your families and friends who've joined us here today. Staging a ceremony like this requires the help of numerous individuals, and I'd especially like to extend my thanks and the thanks of the School of Engineering family to all of our staff members who are here today. And I'd also like to mention too, especially Kim Delker, who put together the programs that you have for the show today, and also the video board and all the interesting things that we've been able to see during the ceremony up there. And also April Davidson, the school administrator, who does a marvelous job organizing the event each semester. Thank you. I'd also like to thank the musicians who provided the wonderful music for today's ceremony, the New Mexico Brass Quintet. And before we're done, just a few announcements. All of our departments will be honoring their graduates at a joint reception following the ceremony here in the Convention Center. The reception will be right across the hall in Ballroom C. Please join us. The cake is really good. I've already tried some. All of our departments, I also want to mention that the entire ceremony will be put on YouTube. So on the School of Engineering channel. So please, for any of your relatives or loved ones who are unable to be here today, they have the opportunity to watch the excitement on their computer. Finally, I'd like to ask all of our guests to please remain seated until after the recession. And now, Subject to the successful completion of the requirements for your respective degree programs, the University of New Mexico is pleased to confer upon you the degrees you've earned from the School of Engineering. Let's give one more huge round of applause to the engineering graduate class
Thank you.